The door slammed so hard the glass rattled, and Ava flinched as the divorce papers slid across the table toward her. Mark didn't sit down. He stayed standing, keys in hand, jaw tight, like this was an errand he needed to finish before traffic got bad. "Sign it," he said. "I'm late." Ava's hand instinctively went to her stomach. 7 months pregnant. Her voice came out thin. "Late for what?" "For my life," Mark replied, not even looking at her. "This is over. Don't make it harder than it already is." She looked past him and saw Lena leaning against the doorframe, arms crossed, lips curled into a smile that didn't bother pretending to be polite. The same woman who'd been just a coworker. The same woman who'd laughed in Ava's kitchen weeks earlier, sipping tea like she belonged there. Ava stood up too fast, dizzy, heart pounding. "You're leaving me like this, while I'm pregnant." Mark finally met her eyes. "You'll be fine. You always land on your feet." Lena laughed softly. "Come on, Mark, let's go." And just like that, he walked out. No hug, no apology, just the echo of the door shutting and the sound of Ava's breathing getting louder as the room closed in around her. That was the moment everything broke. Ava and Mark had not always been like this. Once, they'd been the couple everyone envied. He was ambitious, charming, full of plans. She was calm, steady, the kind of woman who listened more than she spoke. They met young, built their lives from scratch, celebrated tiny wins like they were milestones. Ava supported Mark through long nights, job changes, frustrations he brought home and dumped at her feet. She never complained. She believed in him. When she got pregnant, she thought it would bring them closer. Instead, Mark started coming home late. Phone face down, conversations shorter. When Ava asked if something was wrong, he said she was imagining things. Pregnancy hormones, stress. She believed him because trusting him felt easier than questioning the man she loved. The truth came out in the most ordinary way. Ava borrowed Mark's laptop to check an email. A message popped up. A heart emoji. A name she recognized instantly. Lena. Ava confronted him that night, hands shaking, voice breaking. Mark didn't even deny it. He looked relieved, like a secret had finally been dragged into the open. "I didn't plan it," he said. "It just happened." "While I'm pregnant?" Ava asked. He sighed. "That's not fair, you've changed." Changed? The word stuck like a slap, as if growing a child was a flaw. Within weeks, the marriage unraveled. Mark stopped pretending. Lena stopped hiding. Ava was pushed out of the home she'd helped build, given a small settlement and a timeline to disappear quietly. The divorce papers arrived before the baby clothes she'd ordered online. Then the call came. Ava was sitting on the edge of her bed, staring at the wall when her phone rang. An unfamiliar number. She almost ignored it. "This is Mr. Collins, calling on behalf of Mr. Richard Hale," the voice said. Ava frowned. "I don't know anyone by that name." There was a pause. "I'm calling about your father." Her chest tightened. She hadn't spoken to her father in years. Their relationship had fractured long ago, worn down by distance and misunderstandings that never got resolved. "He passed away this morning," the man continued gently. The room went quiet. Ava sank onto the bed, phone pressed to her ear, tears slipping down her face without warning. Grief hit her in waves, heavy and confusing. Regret tangled with sadness. She hadn't even known he was sick. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "There's a will," the lawyer said, "and some matters that require your presence." Ava nodded numbly, assuming it would be a formality. Her father had been private, distant, and from what she knew, comfortably middle class. She expected nothing more than paperwork and closure. What she didn't expect was to lose the last emotional support she thought she might still have. The weeks that followed were brutal. Medical bills stacked up. Mark stopped answering her calls. Child support became a discussion he kept postponing. Lena moved into Ava's old house and posted smiling photos online, captions about new beginnings and choosing happiness. Ava scrolled past them with trembling hands, then deleted the app altogether. Some nights she cried until her body ached. Other nights she lay awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering how she had gone from being someone's wife to someone's inconvenience. The lawyer called again, asking her to come in. She showed up in a borrowed dress, swollen feet aching, feeling small and exhausted. The office was sleek, quiet, intimidating. Mr. Collins greeted her with a seriousness that made her uneasy. "Ms. Hale," he said, motioning for her to sit. "Your father was a very private man." Ava nodded. "I know. There are things about his life you were not aware of." He slid a folder across the desk. Ava opened it slowly. Numbers, documents, company names, trusts. Her breath caught. "I don't understand." Mr. Collins folded his hands. "Your father was not middle class. He was the majority shareholder in several firms. Technology, logistics, real estate. He operated quietly. No publicity, no flashy lifestyle." Ava's heart started racing. "That's not possible." "It is," he said calmly. "And according to his will, you are his sole heir." The room spun. "Sole heir?" Ava laughed once, short and disbelieving. "You've made a mistake." "There is no mistake," Mr. Collins said. "Your father anticipated that people might approach you once this became public. He instructed us to move carefully." "How much?" Ava asked, barely breathing. Mr. Collins named a figure. Ava went completely still. It was more money than she could process. Generational wealth, life-altering. She didn't feel joy. She felt stunned, angry, overwhelmed. A strange grief that now carried weight. "Why didn't he tell me?" she asked quietly. "He wanted to protect you," the lawyer replied. "And he had concerns about your husband." Ava's hands clenched. "He set up trusts," Mr. Collins continued. "Most assets were structured so they could not be accessed through marriage. Your divorce activated certain clauses." Ava swallowed. "Clauses?" "The house your husband currently lives in is owned by one of your father's holding companies. The company he works for is partially controlled by another." Silence filled the room. Ava finally understood. Her father had known, had watched, had prepared. And Mark had walked away anyway. Ava asked for time. She didn't rush announcements or statements. She went home, sat in the dark, and cried, not from sadness this time, but from release. She wasn't powerless. She chose silence. While Ava processed her new reality, Mark's world started to crack. It began with a call from his bank. Accounts frozen. "Temporary issue," they said. Then came another call from his boss asking him to attend an urgent meeting. Lena noticed the tension immediately. "What's going on?" she asked. "Nothing," Mark snapped. "Just work stuff." But the meetings kept coming. Projects he'd been leading were reassigned. His access restricted. Lena complained about bills. The mortgage payment bounced. "This never happened with Ava," she said sharply. Mark shot her a look. "Don't start." Meanwhile, Ava quietly followed instructions. She met with advisors, signed documents, set boundaries. She didn't seek revenge. She sought stability for herself and her unborn child. Then the gala invitation arrived. A charity event hosted by one of her father's companies. Ava almost declined. Public exposure scared her, but Mr. Collins encouraged her gently. "It's time." The night of the event, Lena arrived first, dressed to impress, chin high, arm looped through Mark's. She flashed her invitation at security. They frowned. "I'm sorry, your names aren't on the list." "What?" Lena scoffed. "There must be a mistake." Security remained calm. "You'll need to step aside." Mark felt eyes on him, whispers, his chest tightened. Then the room shifted. Ava walked in. She didn't look flashy, she looked composed, strong. People greeted her by name, cameras flashed. A man took the microphone. "Please welcome Ms. Ava Hale, director and primary beneficiary of the Hale Foundation." Mark's face drained of color. Lena stared. "What is this?" Mark couldn't answer. The truth hit him all at once, sharp and humiliating. Ava didn't look at them. She didn't need to. Later that night, Mark showed up at her door. He looked smaller, desperate. I didn't know, he said immediately. If I had known. Ava cut him off. You still would have left. That's not true. She met his eyes. You left because you thought I had nothing. He opened his mouth, closed it. I'm done, she said quietly. Please leave. Weeks later, Ava gave birth to a healthy baby. She held her child, tears in her eyes, heart full in a way she hadn't felt in months. Mark lost his job. Lena left. The life he'd chosen collapsed under the weight of his own decisions. Ava didn't celebrate his downfall. She focused on building a future, one grounded in strength, not bitterness. If this story moved you, if you believe that quiet resilience always wins in the end, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us bring more powerful stories like this to life. Because sometimes, the truth doesn't come when you're ready for it. It comes when it's time.